I might actually have changed my mind on some of these positions since then. Let's see.
I find that really interesting that you may have changed some of your positions since then. Like, what led to that? Because without these clips and these tweets, you would never have even thought of changing your positions. The people that were trying to inform others of your wrongdoing are not going to get an apology from you. They would not get anything, because some people have tried to tell you what you was doing wrong, and when they come on your stream, what do? You and your audience antagonize those people. So it's very disrespectful that all of a sudden, well, I may have changed since then. Well, the people that were trying to tell you of what you was doing are not going to get any credit. They're not going to be able to represent their side. You're going to continue to misrepresent them, and you're going to encourage people to antagonize them and vilify them. So yeah, I don't really care if you change your positions, because honestly, like, it's all about you. It's never about the people you've actually harmed. That's how it always goes.
Oh, look at it. Oh, back in the day. All right.
Say it with a hard R. Do I look like a fucking bitch to you? Do you think I would puss out on a joke that could be funnier if I went the full mile? Of course not. Well, everyone who's saying yikes in the chat can go fuck yourself right now. If you unironically think that me just saying the N-word alone with my girlfriend in a non-racist context is like yikesy or problematic, then you believe in witchcraft. You believe that the N-word is a—
Everyone spam yikes in chat, quick. We're all better than this now. Everyone spam yikes.
magical spell that you cast with your mouth that makes the world worse somehow.
Yeah.
It's a very stupid take.
Your little baby space, and we can have a broader left space, but we can also have a much broader left space that is interested in—
Oh, we got multiple. Oh, hold on, wait. We have multiple clips being synthesized here. These people have nothing to do with their time. Okay, let's get it.
appealing to people from all across the spectrum. So people over here might occasionally say retard or whatever. Okay, I'll take people saying retard and supporting class emancipation than I will taking them saying retard and not supporting class emancipation.
Wait, what's wrong with this clip? Wait, we don't need to yikes this one. Hold on. Wait, what's wrong with this clip? I think in this clip, I'm making the argument that in the left, we should be acceptive of people being progressive on different levels, you know? So even if you have like edgy South Park, like dude bros, you know what I mean? Who still say like problematic language, I still think they can have a place in the left as long as we move them over in some positions. And yeah. The clip isn't over, Vaush, just something bad. Uh-oh.
Hey, listen, over here. Hey, if you're a white—
They put the unedited tactical N-word on the kill stream after that one. Ah, well, everyone's seen the tactical N-word. I guess it sounds a bit permissive of class reductionism. Now, I've never been pro-class reductionism, but you have to have a transitional space for people who are like edgy dude bros who you want to bring over to the left. Because you can't just instantly snap over into adopting all of the normative progressive positions. It takes time, and you're going to have questions and disagreements and arguments. You have to find a place where people can, you know, move over. Okay, so let's see. If I see the tactical N-word coming, I'll mute the segment. You've all heard. We've all taken our lesson in tactics. Okay.
white dude, listen over here. This is the circle for white dudes who really love saying nigga. They love saying— they're like, I'm a nigga. Okay, this is where they are. Okay,
say it in chat. Everyone, yikes.
I would rather have them be here.
You realize there were N-words in the—
And then here's the tactical N-word. Is the tactical N-word the last clip? Oh! Okay, we got the tactical N-word clip, which everyone has seen. We're just gonna move past that one. Okay, we got the last one, okay? Oh, by the way, I think that it was cringe of me, and I was being overly edgy by actually saying the N-word with a soft A, but I agree with the sentiment of this clip. Do you guys agree with the sentiment of this clip? I think this one's fine.
And ladies and gentlemen, he missed the point. The point is that you prioritize people who want to use the N-word over the people who are actually marginalized and vulnerable in these spaces. A lot of the people that want to use these words do not consider, nor do they prioritize the feelings and the well-being of those who are marginalized. If you know the history of the N-word, if you understand like everything that's going on today, you wouldn't even use that word, because that will indicate that you understand the harm and the problems of engaging in that behavior. But instead, Vaush is like, let me try to open up a space for these people because we need them. And it's like, if they aren't going to educate themselves, you have to make compromises for those people, but you can't make compromises for people who have beliefs that, you know, are more radical. Then obviously you're not an ally to the marginalized or the left. Just simple as that. Another thing to understand is that Vaush has a history of using the N-word. He has a history of it. Not necessarily on stream, but he has made it clear that he uses the N-word in private. So when he is saying this stuff, like, understand that he is also a part of that same thing. It is no coincidence that someone that wants to say the N-word will also say, well, I'm going to have all these people who all say the N-word in my space and open up a space for them because I'm more inclusive than all of you people. I know what's best for the left more than these people who are trying to engage in purity testing. Like, understand that. There's a lot of context that is being ignored. And as Vaush is trying to cover it, he's ignoring the nuance that was trying to be provided to explain what the critiques are. It's like he doesn't really see the problem of saying the N-word. He doesn't understand how problematic it is to have in your consciousness that saying the N-word is okay. Like, you live in white supremacy, bro. You don't live in a vacuum. You live in white supremacy. And many people who say the N-word low-key internalize a lot of like prejudices and stereotypes about people that honestly just don't even say it. You know, remove that from your consciousness. Shit. The thing with the ER version is that it's saying that black people are not even human. That's what the ER version means. That's the definition. It's saying that we're not even part of the humanized category of the human race. Like, how can it be a joke? How can you use this word in a anti-racist or non-racist context when it is inherently racist? It was born from racism. It was made to basically say that we're really not even human. So it's just really weird that you take a word like that and you try to defend the usage of it when literally it means that we're not even human. Imagine they make a dehumanizing term for just any person, and then they use that term to make jokes. And the term literally means that you yourself, the people that look like you're not even human. Imagine somebody using that randomly in a joke. Like, oh, that person is this. Like, how is that funny? Like, what's the funny part? Oh, you was just being edgy. You're like, that's the joke that you're using the word. That's the joke. It's not even anything else. It's just the word itself that's taboo. So whether or not the word is taboo or it's normalized, people are still going to want to use it. And the fact they can't stop using it is the fucking problem.
The be able to have like a transitional statement, and there are cringy white guys who do say the N-word, you know. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be part of the broader left, because if you're running around like that, you're probably doing more harm than good. But we can't also ignore them, you know?
Vaush is about to defend saying the N-word. I have defended.
Wait, hold on.
About to defend saying the N-word. I have defended saying the N-word before. I said it on the kill stream. I posted a comment in the section defending it. I stand by my use of the N-word in that respect.
Yeah. Well, I no longer stand by that.
Let me give y'all context to why that clip is extremely important. It is because he said that after he debated D'Angel about black nationalism. So he said that after his debate about black nationalism. So him saying that I no longer stand by that. At the time, this was around May 2020. This is less than a year ago. And he stood by it. What changed in the upcoming months to make him say, well, I no longer stand by it? Because he was really he was really firm with his position at the time. Really firm.
Response. What is this? What woke scold shit is this? Every straight white leftist bro is like, there's too much leftist infighting. And not even 10 minutes later drops the N-word on a live stream, shits on LGBT people, throws around ableist slurs, regurgitates misogynistic talking points, and expects everyone to smile and take it. Damn, dude. I'm feeling a little called out by this big old tweet. I remember this one. This wasn't even that bad. You keep your little baby space, and we can have a broader left space, but we can also have a much broader left space that is interested in appealing to people from all across the spectrum. So people over here might occasionally say retard or whatever. Okay, I'll take people saying retard and supporting class emancipation than I will taking them saying retard and not supporting class emancipation. Hey, listen, over here. Hey, if you're a white dude, listen over here. This is the circle for white dudes who really love saying nigga. They love saying, they're like, I'm a nigga. Okay, this is where they are, okay? I would rather have them be here. You can be mad, but it's true. You can be mad, but it's true. You can be mad as fuck if you want.
But now all of a sudden, I no longer stand by that. Another thing to note was that his fans and defenders were saying, it's a long time ago, like it's old, like who cares? he doesn't believe that now. And then at this time, after he debated Dia Angel about black nationalism, just like weeks or months after, like people did not understand that he defended the use. And he said, I'm going to stand by it. So it wasn't the fact it was a long time ago. It was also the fact that he still stood by.
Maybe that's a little weird thing of me to say. I've hung out with black people. Yeah, that's your homies. These are my homies. They say it. When I'm around them, I say it. I was with a black girl. I said homies. I don't give a fuck. Stay mad at me. I don't give a shit. That's my code switching, motherfucker. Oh wait, are they mad? Vaush is about to defend saying the N-word. I have defended saying the N-word before. I said it on the kill stream. I posted a comment in the section defending it. I stand by my use of the N-word in that respect.
That stance. They ignored the context and they misrepresented people, and they just wanted to make it seem like it was antagonizing, it was dishonest, and it's just a hate boner for the guy. But actually, it's more of a legitimate critique on his own behavior and his own tendencies.
Yeah, I think that was probably a donation. Yeah. There we go. Lord just stopped saying it. People act like I say the N-word on stream literally all the time when there's like one incident that everyone points to.
Right? People do bring up that one time he used the N-word against those Nazis at the kill stream. But if people were doing the research, they would come across the thread that is explaining his history using the N-word, where he used it with his cat. Not his cat, but he made his cat say it. His cat didn't really say it, but he was like, say the N-word to his cat with his girlfriend around, and he was using the other moments and the other ones you see in the clips. It's not just a one-time thing. It is a pattern. It is a history that we're addressing.
Whether you like it or not, signal boosting certain types of language can promote a bad interpretation of ideas, even if those ideas are in and of themselves acceptable. This is the criticism that I had of Destiny, and then I did the same fucking thing myself.
Here's question number 1. Is it immoral for white people to use the N-word in private? Question 2. Is it immoral for Destiny to have said publicly that he uses the N-word in private all the time, apparently? And 3, was his handling of the situation appropriate? Actually, and 4, was everyone else's handling of the situation appropriate? Let's go over it one by one. So I've said this before. This is not new. This shouldn't be surprising to anyone who watches my content. I say the N-word sometimes in private.
If Destiny was saying the N-word in private, which he got in a whole lot of trouble for, okay. Whatever. But by admitting that he says it in private, publicly, what he's done there is given sort of a de facto implication.
That isn't just a reaffirmation of what these people believe. That's a firing signal that it's okay to do that again, to say that again. And that's an issue. And I think when Destiny said that, in that clip we saw, the very first clip, I think that's a reaffirmation of the bias that every single one of those people, whatever conservatives or edgy, kind of racist centrists there may be in his community, to think, oh, Destiny is just like us. He has to hide it for stream, Twitch TOS, but inside, Destiny is just like us. He's kind of weird about blacks too, like whatever, you know, they commit crimes and stuff. I deeply believe that that's not only what could have happened, but directly what happened. That many of the people who maybe were on the cusp of being changed by Destiny's perspective, or were being affected by what he was saying, or had listened in on his debates in the past but weren't a full viewer, that some of those people would have heard that and thought, oh, I see. Destiny does the same performance as all the other lib cucks, but inside he's like us, you know. He's just he's just being like progressive. He's being a PC. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to change anything about how I am. How I am is natural. Everyone is like me. Even Destiny. Even Destiny does it. Now, I have also admitted that I use the N-word in private. The key distinction here is the way in which I think I express this. Destiny, without precedent or commentary afterwards, just says he uses the N-word all the time in private. That's really fucking ambiguous. That could mean anything from he does Dave Chappelle skits in his underwear for his girlfriend's amusement to he's out there on the street like laughing at like a homeless black dude being like, look at that fucking N-word, you know? Except he actually says the N-word because it's destiny. Hey, that's a big range. And he didn't clarify that in the initial point, and he has clarified it since that he means more the former contextual usage. But the way he opened that up with, that was really irresponsible. Whereas when I have said that I have used the N-word in private, I have always contextually clarified that I'm using it in context and with people that I think pretty explicitly don't embolden racism.
To the people who watch him. And the implication is this. Okay. Destiny's on Twitch. Twitch has a TOS. He can't be based here. But when he's in private, when he's off the camera, you know, he's with us. That's the implication. That's what I criticize. And then I did the same fucking thing. I did the exact same thing. That a person can watch me and they can think, oh, okay, you know, Vaush plays around being a progressive, but in private, that's where he's based. I've seen people talk about me like that on 4chan.
This guy is known for converting reactionaries into leftists. This guy is edgy. He is known for being edgy. It's like, how are you surprised by this when this is what your aesthetics are? I'm trying to understand why is he surprised by this when you are literally surrounding yourself or trying to attract those kind of people so you can convert them into leftists or progressives. Like, you debate Nazis, man. You're debating Nazis. You don't like leftists. You don't like this moralistic stuff. Like, you came from Destiny's Discord server, and Destiny's a liberal, and Destiny hates leftists. And you, a lot of times, say that you hate leftists yourself. I'm trying to understand why the surprise. Like, your audience and your fans attack people for coming at you for this sort of thing. Like, they're trying to open up the space. Like, you got some people that actually defend you, that defend the usage of the N-word. Like, bro, it's just, at this point, you're just not self-aware.
People saying that I'm secretly based. That, you know, sure, I'm a Jewish pedophile, whatever, but secretly I'm based because I'm edgy or whatever. And that's not an impression that I want to give to people, because if they're getting that impression, other people are too. So that's my position, okay? I thought those were breadtube takes, Lamau. What I'm saying? I'd like to think that I'm discussing this with a decent amount of nuance. But anyway, that's position number one, okay? I believe it. I wholeheartedly believe that, okay? And then here's the second position. Going after people for the language they use in private, if their language in public is otherwise unobjectionable, is mega fucking cringe and makes us look like unironic autocrats.
If you're working with a black person and that black person finds out you use the N-word in private, why would that black person trust you or not feel uncomfortable? We're in white supremacy. We literally go through discrimination. We're mass incarcerated. We're put in low-income areas. Segregation. Why are you crying about people going after people's private usage of things? Because you know when you're in private, that's when you're at the most comfortable, and that is where you reveal your true self and your true character, because no one's really around to judge you, so you act more of yourself. Are you ignorant to that concept? I think the problem is that we're making people uncomfortable because we're confronting them on their behavior. That could be problematic because they have normalized it and they don't want to give that up, so they lash out in an antagonistic and hostile manner. Like, black people have been exploited, used, abandoned. So yeah, it matters if somebody uses the N-word in private because it shows like where they are, shows where they at. I don't think we should tolerate that. But if you feel like that's a problem, if you feel like that people who are marginalized and oppressed and those who care about that have a problem with somebody doing that, that makes them look stupid and is bad optically, then I want you to re-examine what is good optics. Good optics for who? Because I don't care about how these people might feel about that. Seeing that police officers are literally killing us in the streets and they hide their racism because Pete Buttigieg actually fired one of the police chiefs for literally recording like the senior white officers being racist. They did that in private. They hide it for the public and only keep it in like behind doors. Come on. Like, it's just so funny how in this situation you're making it harder for people to actually, like avoid their enemies and avoid problematic people. Like, you're making it harder for people to do that sort of thing because you don't like the fact that people are confronting others on their comfort. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, you're giving the leeway for people to be racist. You're making it harder for people to find out who is engaging in racist behavior. Like, you're actually open up the doors for people to be invalidated on their claims of racism.
If your issue with a person isn't what they say in public, isn't what they believe, isn't what they do in public, but it's the idea that somewhere else, away from you, away from everyone else, in private, they're doing things that you don't like, that aren't affecting the world around them.
Look at that. This is why we can never go anywhere. Like, if it's not affecting the world around you, what? We can never have that conversation because you feel like, well, I'm not directly contributing or participating in racism, but you are participating in racism. You are a product of this society. You have been conditioned and socialized to have these thoughts and these ideas and these values. And you don't want to engage with it because I'm not directly engaging with white supremacy. Like, you are. You don't know it. So when Vaush is out here saying, well, it's not affecting the world around them, like, you don't know that. You're privileged. You're not the one being affected by this thing. You're not the one actually seeing how centuries of this language, of this behavior, of this idea, of this structure has destroyed people, families, and communities. So don't tell us if it's not like, who are you to say that?
That makes you look like a fucking psycho. It makes us look like moralist police.
I would rather try to reach out to people who are trying to remain comfortable and apolitical and meet them like on a few issues than like have this really weird like standard of moralism that 85% of the people would in this country would never pass, and then like every time Bernie loses, I'm like, oh, like how did that happen? I thought our ideas were so great,
Okay? It makes us look like moral police. Seriously, it's so cringe. Like, really? Now, if that stuff gets made public, then okay, those criticisms are levied, whatever. But going after people's literal private language is just really dumb to me. Even if there are negative consequences to using that language in private, let me be clear, even if there are, and there can be, because if you use language like that in private, not only does it normalize the terminology, it can also lead to you engaging with communities that have worse attitudes on these positions. Remember ContraPoints' video on, was it Beauty? ContraPoints said that she would browse the 4chan LGBT board and she would start to, ironically, use language adopted in there, like hun. Or incels, maybe. Yeah, incels. Thank you. She would start to use terminology that was adopted by these self-hating trans people. And even though originally she only used these terms ironically, down the line, it started to affect her thoughts, the way she thought of other people. And I'm going to be real with you guys. As somebody who used to be like an actual edgy white boy, libertarian dude bro high schooler, okay? There is an association between edgy jokes and being a bigot. 100%. It's very, very easy. If you hear joke after joke after joke, and you adopt that language, and you use it yourself, and it's all jokes. It is jokes. I'm not joking when I say it's a joke. It is a joke. But jokes are communication, and that sinks in, and you start to think about things that used to be jokes, but no longer are. Okay? That was me with women for a little bit. I'm not kidding. It used to be all haha girls dumb jokes, and everyone makes girls dumb jokes, including girls, by the way. But for a little while, I mean 16, 17 years old, there was a period in time where I unironically thought, maybe they really kind of are kind of stupid, you know? And I thought that for a bit. And the reason I thought that wasn't because somebody, I want to be clear, the reason I thought that wasn't because somebody had given me some argument on brain sizes or sociological surveys or psych studies or whatever. The reason that I started to believe that was because I had read so many jokes about other people believing that I began to think it was normative. Anyway, those are my two positions, okay? All right? On one hand, I disagree with what I did here. On the other hand, I think this moral policing, this highly punitive attempt at assigning moral value based on private language, it makes you look really bad. It makes the left look really bad too, you know?
Bad to who? Are you trying to appeal to somebody? Like, the right is full of racists, misogynists, transphobes, homophobes. The center, full of the same people. So, doesn't every side look bad? But apparently people say, well, you can't say the N-word. And you're like, oh, you know, why are you trying to assign like this moral policing to private use of language? Like, what? Who are you trying to appeal to? We already know who you're trying to appeal to. You're trying to appeal to those people who aren't here, and you want to make them come here. That's your goal. We don't care about what you want. We don't care about this optics that is actually based on white eyes. That's it. It's not based on anyone else. It's based on these white people. It actually excludes us. But, you know, Vaush doesn't know what the hell they're talking about a lot of times. When Ronald Reagan was governor and called Richard Nixon and was calling us monkeys in private, was that okay?
Watch that thing on television, as I did. Yeah. To see those monkeys from those African countries. Damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
Well, and then the tail wags the dog there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The tail wags the dog.
Should we not go after Ronald Reagan, who's the governor who makes actual legislation? Should we not go after him? Should we not go after people who are in the entertainment business or in any industry that hold powerful positions that say these things in private? Should we not go after them too? As historically we have been like excluded from so many things. Like, this is privilege. This person does not understand why this matters. They don't understand it. Many people actually hide their racism in private because they know if they say it in public, then, you know, they can lose their opportunities. They can lose their position in power. So Vaush is trying to maintain that. He's trying to maintain this comfort for these people. How are you an ally to us? How are you an ally to the left? This is what you're advocating for right now.
But it's not my fucking business. If you do bad things in public, I'll criticize you for that. If you think bad things and then express those thoughts, I'll criticize you for that. There are going to be problematic elements in many things that people do or consume in private, whether that be media or behavior or whatever. And it's fine to criticize those things, but my principal interest is making sure that people engage with it in a healthy or sufficiently conscientious way. Okay? All right, did we do it? Did we do it? All right, we addressed it. Oh, and the tactical N-word is bad, by the way, because there were easier ways to ameliorate the situation, okay? Saying the N-word to a bunch of Nazis who were previously saying the N-word is admittedly a power move, and I defend the fact that it's a power move, but it's a power move with drawbacks that I could have avoided with a different power move. If I was as smart back then as I am now, there are 40 things that I could have thought of that would have shut them down, but I didn't think of them then, because I wasn't as quick on my feet and I wasn't as smart. So I went with a power move that was bad. See? That makes sense? Okay. Yeah, not all power moves are right. Like what, Vaush? I'm not going to like shower argument role play a discussion from 2 years ago. You can watch it yourself. Think of better things I could have done, you know?
Let me get this straight. The reason that the tactical N-word was wrong was because you could have thought of other better things. That's the reason. Not that you're a white guy trying to use the N-word on Nazis as a power move. No. It's because you could have thought of other better options. This is the most stupidest... He's trying to move away from his controversies while not necessarily trying to change what he essentially believes. That's really what this is right now. Like, you're trying to make it seem like that you've changed while not really changing. Because that's why you're doing all this backtracking, but also trying to say, well, I don't think this was right. Like, that's why you're doing that. It's so interesting that while you're trying to address your past behavior, you're not trying to necessarily make any changes to yourself. It's just really interesting. What happened to the people that was defending the tactical N-word? Do they just suddenly change their position? Because many people were actually defending Vaush's use of the N-word at this time and attacking many people who were against it. This is not growth. Do not mistake this for growth, because there is no growth to this. This is just someone trying to further themselves from their own controversy so they can move on with their content.
Is it bad optics to ban a bunch of black people after talking with one of them about how I don't think she should be, like, pushing to protect her culture? It's baby! The really funny thing is, like, Cormatine went after Destiny first, but I've said the N-word on stream way more than he has. Hey, Dia Angel. Hey, motherfucker. You still in stream discussions? I'm taking a look at you. I want you to condemn this immediately or you getting fucking banned, okay? This is the litmus test. You're getting banned unless you decry this, alright?
So the whole thing with, like, me getting banned, it was like, I don't want to get into that because the streamer in question basically said the N-word on a stream, did it, like, troll Nazis that he not afraid of slurs, and that slurs have no meaning or power to him, and he did it to shock them and scare them, basically show he had no power. Okay, I guess whatever. Black people did not like that. A lot of black people said, no, you should not be saying the N-word.
For sure.
It made me uncomfortable to watch. It made a lot of people I know in the chat and off the chat uncomfortable to watch.
For sure.
And I said that there's no reason for him to really say the N-word. Like, there's no reason. No. And I got put in rehab chat, the rehab chat where they kind of restrict how you talk. And I said, look, you're gonna have to ban me. You're gonna have to ban me because I ain't explaining to you why a white person saying N-word is bad. If you don't know why it's bad, then nothing can convince you.
So I just want to get one final word in. The stuff that you may have seen today, you probably would never see me address in a Vaush video, because, you know, Vaush has me blocked on Twitter, so he's never going to see my threads. The criticisms that's actually trying to be thrown at him are not being addressed by his fans either. So, like, usually when you're getting a video that's talking about the criticism that he receives, it's probably coming from somebody on Twitter that's just reacting to what I posted. And it just shows that our perspective, what we're coming from, will never get shown, because first of all, if we go on the stream, he's going to misrepresent us. He's going to try to make us into locals and make us look ridiculous and insane, and like, he's going to assign the most negative and harmful intentions to us, as if that we have the power to take him down, when honestly some people have been harassed online on platforms after they've talked to him. It's just, you're fine, you're making money, we're not necessarily making anything, you know?
Do 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 do.